I was a store manager at Starbucks for 4 years, and I had the pleasure of meeting a Karen. She came in and ordered a venti cappuccino. My assistant manager was at the bar with an experienced barista, and they were cranking out the beverages. Until this one. 1 return, okay, no problem. 2 returns, okay, but there is no way this one is wrong. 3 returns. At this point, she's calling the assistant and the barista stupid and untrained. So I step in and call her over to the other end of the counter so that they could catch up with the drinks that are now piling up. I tell her she should not speak to my staff like that, that they are both experienced and are making the drink to Starbucks standard. Here, what the woman wanted was us to put shots in a cup, then proceed to skim the foam off of all of our milk pitchers. In the past, we had large milk pitchers that we would steam as we went, so there was always milk ready. Now they steam milk per drink, to fill the cup the rest of the way.
Tiffany knows how to make my drink.
Tiffany had recently been fired for no showing for work 2 times as a supervisor, delaying the store opening and costing us money and customer satisfaction. New boyfriend, bad influence. Me. If you want 2 shots and a cup of foam, you have to order it that way. A cappuccino is part foam and part liquid milk, which is why they made it the way they did. There is a standard recipe for cappuccinos. She continued to berate us for our service and her drink being wrong. So when she finally got out all that she needed to get out, I asked her to go elsewhere for a coffee, as clearly we were not able to serve her as she wanted. She was not expecting that response. Clearly, she was accustomed to having her ass kissed, and I was not going to let my staff be treated like that. I don't remember if she left in a huff. I was headed to call my district manager to let her know I threw someone out and asked them not to return. I got major kudos from the staff there, and the customers who were within earshot for standing up to a bully and defending my staff, who I knew were in the right, and at no point were combative with her. My DM knew I had to be pushed to the edge to make a decision like that. And even had she not been okay with it, I had a lot of support to back me up. What do you think about this situation? How would you have reacted? Leave a comment below if you'd done anything different. As a university student, I had a summer job installing cable for a cable TV company. More accurately, I was the one who went around to bury the cable after the cable company had connected the cable to the house. It was during the housing boom in the U.S., and houses were going up so fast that the cable TV company could not keep up with subscription demand. In most cases, they just ran cables from the street to the house above their grass. They didn't have enough workers to bury the cables, so they promised residents that they would send workers out to bury them as soon as they could. It sometimes took 6 months for the workers to get there. You can imagine homeowners were not happy. We worked in crews of 3. I was with 2 Hispanic men. We rang the doorbell of a home. There was no answer. We called the home. No answer. We didn't have a cell number, so we started to bury the cable, just as we had done for other houses that day. We were half finished when a car pulled up and came to a sudden stop. A woman got out and started yelling at the foreman. He spoke English, but she berated him and insinuated that he was an illegal alien. She kept demanding that we leave, asking him, "Do you understand me? Do you understand me?" I walked over and said, "Ma'am, I understand you. What's going on?" She demanded to speak to my boss. I pointed her back to the man she had been berating. She didn't expect that. I don't ever remember seeing racism up close like that until then. I had no idea what Latino workers dealt with on a daily basis. I was disgusted by her behavior. I had studied Spanish for years and really enjoyed Latino culture. The food, the humor, the work ethic, etc. So I was offended that she treated my new co-workers in such a condescending manner. We explained who we were, showed her the work order from the cable company, and explained that we were there to bury the cable. We asked her if she wouldn't mind if we completed the job. She said, "Don't you move. I'm calling the police." And she did. We called the cable company while she was on the phone. We took a water break. A police officer showed up. I approached carefully and explained what we were doing, showing the work order. He looked at the work order and asked the woman if the address was correct. She ripped it out of my hand and looked at it.
Yes, that's my address.
The officer asked if it would be okay if we completed burying the cable. We explained that if it was a bad time, we could come back. Just then another vehicle came flying up the road, the driver slamming on the brakes as he reached the house. A man, her husband, jumped out and immediately started yelling. The officer de-escalated the situation, explaining that we were contractors from the cable company. The man kept giving us menacing looks, but eventually jumped back in his vehicle and sped off. The homeowner eventually agreed to allow us to finish the job, but warned us that she would be watching us from inside her air-conditioned house. She did. We saw her looking out of the window. The police officer left. My co-workers went back to work. They were polite and professional. There was only one issue. We had to go through the flower bed. This was before smartphones, or we would have taken pictures before starting. We carefully dug up just enough space to bury the cable, and replaced all the wood chips. We were actually proud of our work. We'd have done this either way. The rep from the cable company showed up. The homeowner came out and showed the rep where we had done irreparable damage to her lawn and destroyed her flower bed. The rep took a look and commented that we had actually pulled some weeds in the process of going through the flowers. She just kept getting angrier and demanded a discount on her cable service. The cable company rep was ready for this. He pointed to the contract with the cable company that said they would send out a contractor to bury the cable. He was polite but firm. There was no promise of when the cable company would send a contractor to bury the cable. He explained that with the housing boom and record subscriptions, they had not had time to bury cables. Most of her neighbors had had their cables above ground too. We finished and the cable company rep asked if there was anything else he could do while she was there. She said,
Just get them off my property.
He waited for us to collect our tools and apologized for the behavior of the homeowner. Normally, people were happy to see us. They were tired of mowing their lawns while dodging the big cable running from the street to their house. The rest of the day, we were offered drinks and treats when we visited other homes. This made the Karen look even worse. I haven't thought about her in years, but it made me glad I finished my education. I don't have to deal with people like that in my job. And it reaffirmed my belief that everyone should be treated with respect, no matter how they dress for work. But the people who work with their hands in the hot sun so that I can sit in my air-conditioned home watching TV deserve a little extra respect. I'm always happy to give them that respect. I hope I never forget that. Which workforce do you think deserves respect? And not to be treated like this by a Karen? Leave a comment below. That is the end of the video. I hope you liked it. Subscribe for more content like this, and hit the like button to help us out.